Bappa Shab says, I heard Steel Toe Morning Show was cutting one of its co-hosts loose. Times are tough. We are not cutting one of our co-hosts loose. And by the way, also, I think that's just you trying to tell me that you want me to fire John. I'm not going to fire John. What did John? You know what? Let's have this conversation. We're 55 away from tonight's goal. I'd love to hit that, but let's stop for a second. And before I open up our next stories that we've got coming up tonight, let's talk about this. And I want you to lay it out honestly. I don't want you to hit me with any kind of cheap shots about Johnny or any kind of your own, bullshit theories. Shoot me straight. What's the problem? What's the deal? Because if you ask me, the kid's fine. He's doing for the jail show, he did exactly what I asked him to do. I said, Johnny, I need you to be the eyes and ears of the audience and ask the questions that maybe you could anticipate them asking that I'm not answering at the moment. And he did that, and he kept the conversation going, and I thought he did a good job. I am very happy with the way Johnny did the show on Monday. And then today, I thought today's show was great. It was nice. It was casual. We had no goal. It was a lot of fun. We got a nice chunk of tomorrow morning taken care of. So what's the problem? Because I'm taking Bappa Shab's comment as he wants me to fire Johnny. And now, goddamn it, I want to know why. And I don't want the answer to be like, yeah, he fucking sucks. I'm going to need more than he fucking sucks. I'm going to need specifics because together we do the best show out there. I mean, you can't count any shows that do shows that are based on other people's shows because those aren't shows. Those are just hangers on. They don't count. There's no talent in that. That's hack shit. I'm above that. We do the best show out there, and Johnny's part of that show. So I'm not going to take that. There's a reason no one watches his show but like 15 people. Now, wait a minute. At its peak, this evening show only does about 3 something. So let's not act like, the evening show is so superior. Mornings between 6 and 8. 11 on Monday, but let's be real. I mean, is there but for the grace of God go I. Sam Show says he has quite literally nothing to add. See, this is what I mean. I need more specifics than that. T. Duden says Johnny is a rock. I mean, he sits there like a rock. Mad Move says his only good role is being a bigger punching bag than you, but he isn't a good sport about it. I'm not really a punching bag. I give as good as I get. I shit on my attitude towards it is this. I can't shit on everybody. I shit on all my haters. I shit on everybody. I make them look stupid. I got to let them give it back to me a little bit. That's just good natured. I mean, sure, they have no sense of humor. So when I throw it back at them, it hurts them more. And we just laugh along. We're friends. But I don't think Johnny's necessarily a punching bag. You can't have this. You can't have a bigger platform than the people saying stuff and be a punching bag. That's why I don't think you should really hit back that hard if you have this, because you already have the advantage. It's kind of you're working with it. You're holding a midget by the head and kicking him in the nuts. It's not really fair. You got to let a hobo chili recipe talk some shit because he has no power. So you got to let him. That's been my attitude, and that's why I've had a successful show for longer than any of these other people have, because it's just that. It's a show. You don't get wrapped up. Toad Climbs Mountains says Johnny had good shows last 2 days. I like Johnny on Steel Toe. Well, there you go. Sam Show says watch one of your episodes with Corey, then watch one from this morning right after each other. Hey, now come on. Corey was great. It's not about comparing Corey and Johnny. I mean, Corey was a great co-host, but you guys used to complain when Corey was on there too much. I think you guys just get sick of people when they're on too much in a row. I think you guys burn out of people. T. Duden says Johnny is a disinterested, honest, or often asleep hole on the show. Sometimes I find him sleepy. But I think that's one of two things. Either he's not feeling well or he was up all night talking to that digger. I think that digger girl. I think my boy Johnny has been up all night talking to that digger gal, and that might be why he's a little sleepy. Taste Fairy Ialto says, I always look forward to Monday and Tuesday shows. Great. T. Duden says, saw April in the reruns. She was engaged, added something, and the show was better with her. Johnny is not engaged, adds nothing, and grifted money. Now, that is the first compliment I've heard of April from those reruns we ran. I got a lot of shit from people for running those. Oh, my God, she was so terrible. Why did you make us watch her? Blah, 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 blah. I mean, she got a lot of heat. T. Jefferson says the chemistry with you two is why I started watching. The reruns were great. Well, why didn't you say so? She's been blowing up my phone asking for a job. I'll bring her back. Just kidding. It's not. No. I'm kidding on both counts. Number one, she is not calling asking for a job. She just sent me an invitation to the wedding. That was it. There was the invitation to the wedding. I didn't give away the location. I did send a little gift, but I did not attend. I didn't think it was appropriate. I didn't want to be another ex that got a middle finger at a red light. So I said, I'm gonna stay away from this. I sent her a little gift and a card, and I said, be careful. Those second marriages are a real. And then I sent it off. So. No bad blood. It's all good. We're fine. Okay, let's go and take a look at some of this hurricane stuff we've got. Hurricane Melissa. No, that is not what was in Keanu Thompson's texts recently. And no, Sean, we're not going to make those because I respect gag orders. Thank you very much. I call me old-fashioned. Thank you very much. Oh, Shit Show is here. He's one of the people that we kind of riled up a bit with the jail talk. It is amazing. Like, I talk about the week I had in the Stearns County Jail, and you can tell when I'm doing the shows and people are enjoying them that I'm not doing it to upset anyone. Like, they're like upsetting or triggering anyone is the furthest thing from my mind. I think if you do it and you're trying to do it, it's kind of disingenuous to act surprised. But when you're not trying to at all and people are just so weak-minded that you just bend them out of proportion, it really is, it's a character study to me. It's a study in psychosis, if you will. I had people emailing me saying, you lied about where you ran to from the jail. I'm like, what? Because that's their big thing. If they have a theory in their head and it doesn't come true, then it can't be that they got it wrong. I must have lied. I said the other day, I ran 4.5 miles from the Stearns County Jail to the Quick Trip by my house. And they're like, that is a lie. Now, I don't know why you need that to not be true. It's not smart. Again, it's like when I talked about, having fun, doing the things I did in jail, the basketball, the day room, all of that stuff. You're like, Aaron, he can't be good at basketball. He can't do it. It's like, guys, I'm still in jail. Like, it's still, like I said, it's more fun to be sitting there bored at home, free, than having a good time in jail. Like, you can have, it's like I have to try and manage their soft egos, their delicate egos. And so they're like, no, he cannot have run 4.5 miles. You understand that me running 4.5 miles from jail in 30-degree weather in shorts because I didn't know I was getting out at 5 a.m. and didn't want to bother anybody. You understand that makes me look like a retard, right? Like, there is nothing about running 4.5 miles to a Quick Trip from the police station, especially when there's a hotel lobby less than a mile away that I forgot about. You understand none of that makes me look good, but it pisses you off somehow that you have to go, no, that can't be what happened. Some would say you're mentally ill. I wouldn't. I have a good time. You make me laugh. So don't listen to those people. Keep entertaining your daddy. But I looked it up, and sure enough, they were right. I did lie. It was not 4.5 miles. It was 4.6 miles, which is 0.1 more than 4.5. I can't keep getting away with it. Damn it. And then it was like another 1.4 miles to my house. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to see if I can get that Uber. Note to self, just next time, bring your phone, bring your wallet, bring your keys. Or you know what? Note to self, don't make there be a next time. That would be good. Now, as far as the Geno thing, I found this, you can tell, like, I don't think there's anything to be jealous of when it comes to Geno Bisconti, but I will say some of you who are like going after him for the Jubilee thing, I'm just letting you know, you kind of come off as a little jealous. You kind of come off as some bitter bitches. Because doing that Jubilee thing, number one, it's a paying gig. Number two, it is a big deal. A shitload of people watch it. And number three, I don't think he gave as good as he got against Luke Beasley. Luke Beasley's a pretty sharp dude, by the way. I thought Geno hung in there pretty good. I thought he did a pretty good job. And if you don't think he did, I think you're probably just a little Geno bias. And that's okay. I actually respect people who can say that. I would respect someone who could go, hey, I just really hate Geno and Keanu. I don't like them at all, so I'm not going to give them any credit for this Jubilee thing. I respect that. Now, if you go, no, it's not about that. I'm just being fair and impartial. Well, now you're just making yourself stupid just so you can wage a vendetta. That's not a good look for you. Bad optics, as they say. No, doing the Jubilee thing, I mean, I'm jealous of that. I would have loved to do that. That's a big audience. And he'll probably be asked to do it again because I think he was very engaging. So good for him.